Hey, somebody's got to light the fireworks. Start with the whistling kitty chaser. You did? Excellent. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. You are listening to the Professional Noticer.
With all due respect, sir, I believe this is going to be our finest hour.
Here, I'm going to use some common sense and all the wisdom I can muster to create measurable results for people like you and families like yours. I am the Professional Noticer.
Listen carefully.
Hello, everyone. I'm Andy Andrews. Hey, thank you for making me a part of your week. I know our topics seem to vary wildly at times, but it's only because the things you care about most are often greatly affected by the things you care about least. Therefore, we do field questions about everything: business, spiritual issues, popular culture, and we tackle the odd conundrum like, did you know a person skating on thin ice is likely to get in hot water? My purpose here today, and with every show we do, is to play the part of a best friend or a coach. I want to help you live the life you would live if all your toughest questions were answered. Our sponsor this week is itam.org. That's IAITAM.org. itam.org is the only global member-based training organization dedicated to meeting the needs of IT asset management professionals. Did you understand that? Well, let me tell you something. It's an unbelievable organization. Dr. Barbara Mbiasa is someone you should know. She actually created this industry. And ITAM, again, the only global training organization. They turn out IT asset managers that the corporations around the world immediately hire. So check them out. You can go to school on this with an online program and get a degree that is actually in huge demand. That's itam.org, IAITAM.org. Okay, observations and answers. That's what we do here. I deliver the observations and you, my friend, provide the questions. Questions are a critical component of the person you and I aspire to become. And hey, I'd love to answer a question from you. So email your question to the Professional Noticer at andyandrews.com or call 1-800-726-ANDY. It's 1-800-726-ANDY. And listen, if we use your question, the Professional Noticer will send you your choice of the guided traveler experience, over 8 hours of live video seminar, or you could choose 100-year parenting. This is a collection of 53 videos, each between 10 and 20 minutes. Life-changing, but very fun stuff. The quality of your answers, you will remember, can only be determined by the quality of your questions. So come on, send in some good questions. Our first question today is from a lady named Cookie, and she lives in Wisconsin. Let's listen.
Hi, Andy. My name is Cookie from Wisconsin. This is my dilemma. My grandchildren's mother left them and my stepson to live a gay lifestyle. She's become engaged to another woman, claims that she is a Christian. She had a home business that exploded, and she tells us she's being blessed. The children get to continue to attend church and have expressed knowing that their mother's lifestyle is wrong, but that she is still their mother. For several years prior, she stopped doing anything with the kids, from getting them breakfast, seeing them off to school. My husband, their grandfather, take the kids to and from school, doctor's appointments, dentist appointments, even while she was there at home, having her own business. Of course, now she's doing much more with the kids and paying more attention than ever. She does get visitation. I just can't be excited about the increased involvement and drama she creates every time the kids come back home and when she's around. We're all praying for everyone involved. But my emotions, I keep them to myself when the kids or grandkids are around. I really just don't know how to feel or to deal with it. Please help me.
Hi, Cookie. Thanks for the question. Well, you start right off with you have a dilemma. And I want to jump down to one of the things that you said last. I was scribbling notes as fast as you're talking, and I want to go to something that you said last first, and then we'll move up through some stuff. Okay. Here's what I'm remembering that you said last. You said that your emotions are protection for these kids, and you also say, "I don't know how to feel." All right. So you also said, I just can't be excited. My emotions are protection for the kids. I don't know how to feel. Well, are you sure you don't know how to feel? I think you know how to feel. I think you probably sense what is the right way to feel in this situation. But I want to tell you something. Your emotions are not protection for the kids. Now, there are things that you can do. There's protection for the kids, and there is a way that you can act despite what you feel in the moment. But to allow your emotions to be in charge of anything is sometimes very scary. I know I wouldn't want my emotions to be in charge of my business. I know I wouldn't want my emotions to be in charge of my parenting skills, or I wouldn't want my emotions to dictate how I talk to my wife. I sure wouldn't want my emotions to be in charge of me as I drive down the road. You know, your emotions, I'm just telling you, your emotions are really not protection for your kids. And I think you don't want them to be. It is tough to watch a family be destroyed, especially when you're part of the family. And to feel like you have no control over some bomb that's been thrown into your window, and it's just taking people out right and left and separating people right and left. I know this is tough. Now, let's look at a couple of facts here at the first. That you said that, I had to think real hard. You said my grandchildren's mother left them and my stepson. And I had to think, okay, the grandchildren's mother, okay, so you're the mother of the stepson. He got married. They had children. And now the woman your son married and the mother of those children has left. You said she became engaged to another woman. You said she is Christian. And you told us she has a home business that has apparently exploded. And so she tells you that she is being blessed. You know what? She might be being blessed. There's some good things about her business exploding. She is, for some reason, feeling more able to take care of the children, certainly financially. I know you're concerned about the engaged to another woman part. You mentioned that the children continue to attend church. They've expressed knowing that their mother's lifestyle is wrong, but she is still their mother. Man, this is a tough time for a family, and it's a really tough time for kids or teenagers who really don't have anybody to talk to about this. And, if they do have somebody to talk to, teenagers usually just don't. And so they're holding all this stuff in. But I'm going to tell you something. They are right. She is still their mother and will always be their mother. And, you can you can love your mother and still disagree with some things that your mother does. You can love your mother even though she got caught shoplifting. Your mother got caught shoplifting. She actually got fingerprinted by the police. It was a small article in the newspaper, but you still love your mother. You're horrified, but you love your mother. You know, your mother got 2 DUIs. They've taken her license away for a month. And the way she's acting, the choices she's making, you know, you're scared she's going to kill somebody. But you still love your mother. She's your mother. And you know, if you push your mother away because she was shoplifting, if you push your mother away because she's apparently an alcoholic, if you push her away and don't have anything to do with her because of the things she has done, you will you will give away whatever influence that you might have in her life to help, because you have become, you might have become so angry and so, you know, horrified at you know, how this reflects on you and how, you know, the things that you have to deal with because your mother is now doesn't have a license and all the things, you know, you tell her and you make sure she knows that this is how you feel and that she has done this and you're not going to have any part of it ever, and she's no longer welcome to come to your house. And if she can get her life straightened out, then maybe one day we will talk again. But I mean, if that's the attitude that comes across when we have family members that go another way that we feel is wrong or we feel is dangerous, whatever, if we have that persecuting, gosh, you have hurt me too, look what you've done to everybody. I mean, if we have that kind of manner with these people, we will lose any influence that we might have had. And so while you hate, she apparently can't understand not to drink and get in the car. She's your mother. And you remember rock, paper, scissors, right? Well, if there were 4 of them in there instead of 3, if you put love in there, love would conquer rock, love would conquer scissors, love would conquer paper. I would bet, this is just a guess, but deep down at the bottom of the pool, your daughter-in-law, and yes, that's what she is, deep down, your daughter-in-law is obviously longing for love, for attention, affection. Now, it's just a guess. When people are ignored or taken for granted, or, you know, any one of a million things that kind of we do to each other, but a lot of times when people experience that kind of treatment, they kind of pick up and go another way, just like, you know, it's as if they're saying, whatever this is that I have lived here, I'm going the absolute opposite direction and see if I can find happiness somewhere else. I mean, it's a sad thing to watch, and I know you are having a tough time with it. Then you have a tougher time when you realize, yeah, she went away. Now she stopped doing anything with the kids, for the kids. Now, you know, granddaddy's fixing breakfast. Granddaddy's seeing them off to school. Granddad's taking care of this stuff. Now she makes some money, and here she is. I know that's aggravating to you. I just can't be excited about it. Okay, here's something to be excited about. All of a sudden, she's back for whatever reason, she's back. If she didn't see the kids, if she never saw the kids, I bet she never saw you either. But now, she's back. She's back to see the kids. But if she's going to see the kids are apparently living with you and your husband, so she's back to see the kids. She's going to see you. And that means you have a choice to make. At this point, you have a choice to make. And your choice is determined by your thinking. You said you didn't know how to feel. You know, your thinking determines your feelings. Because your thinking determines choices, which, create action, and, you're either happier or sadder. It's just, it's kind of complicated, but at the bottom of it all, the thinking, your thinking determines your feelings, your choices. You can actually, because your thinking determines your choices, you can actually choose how you think. You can choose your feelings. I suspect forgiveness will have to be a part of this. Now, I'm not saying that you say anything to her, and I'm not saying that forgiveness has to be a part of it, so you better wait until she asks for forgiveness for something. I mean, you can't demand that from a person. You can't make that happen, but what you can do is you can forgive her. For what? For whatever it is that has gotten you so bent out of shape. Now, hang on, I'm not saying you shouldn't or that I wouldn't have, or I'm just saying right now we're talking about you. And we want you to be the person that you want to be. We want you to be the grandmother that everybody loves. And now she's back, and you can be tight-lipped around her. You can look stern as you walk through the room. She can know very clearly that you disapprove of her lifestyle. You can generate that so much that not only does she know that you disapprove of her lifestyle, that you don't like her either. Now, here's the thing, remember, she has done something. She has become, she is trying to become something, or maybe she feels like she is something. I don't really understand this, but I do know that person your son fell in love with years ago, that person's still in there somewhere. That person who was happy and funny and contented and excited, a joy to be around. That young woman is still inside her. That was the first choice that she made with her life. And I know that if you can find a way, see, to forgive somebody, they ain't got to know it. They ain't got to ask for it. They don't even have to deserve it in your eyes. But you can grant the grace. You can say, you can get by yourself, and you can say, you know what? There are things that are out of my control, and, I'll pray, and I might have to forgive her again, and maybe several times, maybe even 7 times, 70 times. You may have to do it daily. You may have to do it sometimes every hour, but you can understand that you will forgive. And it's not even necessary that because this forgiveness, see, what I sense in your voice is that you're under a lot of stress. You're very unhappy. And you didn't say, I don't know what to do. You said, I don't know how to feel. It kind of goes to the core of you, doesn't it? But Go a little deeper into your core. See if you can actually reach into your core all the way to your heart. And you get alone with your heart. And you will know how to feel. You will know what is correct and right and good. You will know how to feel. And you will make a choice to feel that way. And you will make a plan on how to act that way until you actually really do feel that way without thinking about it. And how are you going to act? You're going to act just like you would if one of your children did something wrong or got in a fight on the playground. I know. There's people listening to this going, hey, dude, this is not a fight on the playground. This is really serious. This is a real sin. Okay, I'll just say this. If you're gonna throw the Bible into the mix, and I'm not saying not to, but I am just saying if you're going to throw the Bible in the mix, at least know what the Bible says. When you go into the New Testament, you understand what our instructions were to love, to forgive, to give grace. And the Bible also says that in God's heart, all sins are alike. And so, if you see what this woman is doing, if you see this as a big sin, and if in God's eyes all sins are alike, can you think of anything in your life that you've done that was a really big sin compared to some sins that you did, and that that some of those sins were much harder to get God to forgive you and to get, some of those sins were so bad that you weren't forgiven for like a year. You ever had any of those? If you really believe what that Bible says that you're reading, you understand that all you need do is ask God for forgiveness. And when you do that with a repentant spirit, if you believe what the Bible says, if you believe that, when you do that with a repentant spirit, God takes that sin, throws it behind, and he puts it as far away as east is from west. So I'm not sure that God has a ranking system on sins. And as many times as I have had to ask God to forgive me, and as many times as I've had to ask people to forgive me, I am just not going to cast any stones. I ain't got any rocks in my hand. Because if I have rocks in my hand, I'm really, with the way my life has gone and some of the horrible choices I've made, if I have rocks in my hand, I'm afraid somebody may take them from me and use them on me. So I am determined to choose to love and laugh and forgive. That is my advice to you. I want to assure you that your emotions don't protect those kids. The way you act and what you do and who you are will protect those kids. And you choose all those things. I really appreciate the question. I really appreciate the opportunity to encourage you to, in whatever way that you can, love your daughter-in-law. You don't have to love what she's doing. You don't have to approve of anything. Somebody gets a DUI, you don't have to approve of that. You don't have to say publicly, hey, it's okay. You don't privately have to go to them and say, yeah, I don't really care about that. Whatever you want to do is fine with me. You don't have to do any of that. You just got to forgive and love and find ways to be happy for her. Who knows? Perhaps if there is more love shown in the place she left than there is in the place she went to, maybe she'll come back. Sooner the better, right? Okay. Thank you so much, Cookie. I'm Andy Andrews, the professional noticer, attempting to harness some common sense and wisdom to plow through challenges all the way to an answer for you. Hey, have you heard WisdomHarbor.com is the brand new web portal that folks all over the world are using to learn and be entertained? WisdomHarbor.com presents certain content in a way that allows its members to actually create measurable results in business and astounding results with their relationships, even with their children. So go to WisdomHarbor.com and take the free 5-minute guided tour. You'll see the Betcha Didn't Know doc, the In Other Words doc, the Songwriter's doc, the How Do I doc, the audiobook doc, and tons more. That's Wisdom Harbor, H-A-R-B-O-U-R, Harbor with an O-U-R, because it's not theirs, it's ours. Remember, Wisdom Harbor harbors wisdom. It's a place you can visit and relax as you seek wisdom and become who you were meant to be. And I think that'll do it for this week. Get us out of here, Matthew. So, ladies and gentlemen, and to the boys and girls who aspire to become ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of another episode of The Professional Noticer. In a world where common sense has become a superpower, I'm harnessing the little bit of mental energy I have for you. I'm seeking wisdom and making observations, endeavoring to answer tough questions in a way that will empower your family and your business. I'm Andy Andrews. Until next week, smile while you talk. Shake hands with the kids you meet. And make sure you have an answer to the question, can you put anything in your hat and call it macaroni? And so, until next week, goodbye. This episode of The Professional Noticer was produced by Matt Limpert. The Noticer theme written and performed by Sugarcane Jane. Black Cat Firecrackers provided for the cast and crew by Twinkle and Smoke of Beverly Hills. Additional financial consideration provided by the Yankee Doodle Dandy Clothing and Accessories Store for Men. For more than 250 years now, the Yankee Doodle Dandy Clothing and Accessories Store for Men has supplied the greater Boston area with fine linens tailored to your exact weight and height, however large that may be. They have breeches, cravats, greatcoats, and not-so-great coats, but you can choose from a massive selection of hats, stockings, trousers, you name it. Do you need to look your best for those red tie events? Do you need to gather with a group of people and pour a lot of tea into a harbor? Do you need clothing that can easily be washed clean each and every time you are tarred and feathered? Look no further. Come and join us today, the only clothing store in the Northeast that also functions as a time capsule. That's the Yankee Doodle Dandy Clothing and Accessories Store for Men.